Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Corporate Esports Association Spring 2020 Starcraft 2 week number 8. Between our two teams here, unlike what you see in the stream, it will be Red Hatlings versus new nerds on the block. So just a quick programming note for our two of our maps, sorry. Actually, were already played previously last night. So we're going to watch those two games first from replay. And casting those games, and joining me today will be Big Tisano Patch Tech and our observer Dan Glenn.
All right.
All right, thank you for that nice intro.
So we'll go into the replay in just a second here, but I'll let the two of you chat. Tell the viewers what's going on.
All right, so I think the first one is what, Cyril?
Cyril, yep. Cyril from the Red Hat.
Yeah, versus Faz. Yeah.
We got a ZVP and on Simulacrum, obviously.
Yeah.
Here we go. Yeah, I think let's get started.
Yep, so all right, so down here in the bottom right corner, we have for the Red Hatlings, Cyril.
And in the top left corner, playing for new nerds on the block, it is Faz. And
All right.
so this game, of course, is, as a reminder, is casted from replay. We will be casting two games off replay and then picking up with the rest of the match live at around 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So this one, ZVP. What do you think we're going to end up seeing here? Or what do you want to look for?
I don't know. There's so much that can happen in the matchup, but I'll tell you what we do have, and that is a early pool out of Cyril.
Ooh.
And yeah, so not building his hatchery, deciding he wants to make things that attack.
Yep, so it sounds like Cyril might be trying to go for a little early lean rush here. Faz is out here on the map trying to scout. Let's see if he ends up getting the scout out, figuring out what this is.
Does have a probe.
And the first set of lings will get that probe.
Wow, okay, so sees the lings pretty early and does throw down a second pylon in the cyber core with just that one hole in the wall there at the bottom. She's going to try to plug, but he's going to have to chrono. Does he have chrono available? Not yet. Is the Zealot going to make it out in time is the question.
Ooh, that probe's going to try to become the wall. Are probes big enough, though?
I don't believe so.
We're about to find out.
He's got chrono available now, and he's not using it.
The probe wasn't big enough, but Cyril just didn't care anyway. Killed the probe real quick. Cyril might run away those lings with a little bit of help there. Takes out the Zealot real quick. Fast trying to get them cannons down, but I think it's a little too late. Cyril's trying to get these pylons down.
First pylon goes down. And this pylon is going down too, so he has literally nothing powered at the moment. And there's the GG. Okay.
Oh, that was quick. Nice little tone setter.
Yeah. Probably should just gone ahead and full walled without relying on a unit to close the wall. But he did not expect that build to come. So
yeah. It's kind of hard to react when you see that initially, but especially Protoss, it's a little slow to get units out, so
absolutely
did what he could.
All right, well, that will put Red Hat up 1-0 for the day, and the next game we're going to be casting, again from replay on this next one, will be, let me pull up my matchup here, between Zip and Q2 on New Nerds on the Block. So it has another ZVP.
Q2 a cousin of Mewtwo?
I think so. Definitely in the family.
Alright. Little Pokemon Starcraft crossover, I guess, but hey, let's see what he got.
Mm-hmm. Thank you to our Wise Overlord. And we're now loading the map.
Alright, so be just a second here to get everything going up. As far as today's teams, yeah. New Nerds on the Block. They are. What company is that they're with?
I'm forgetting the name of the company, but I do know the name of the charity that they have, and I'll tell folks a little bit about that in a second. But all right, here we go. So let's get kicked off with Game 2. Really Game 3, but really Game 2. But in the top right corner of the map, playing for Red Hat, we have Zip.
All right, and down here in the bottom left, playing for the New Nerds on the Block, we have Q2, the light blue Protoss.
Cousin of Mewtwo. Excellent character in Smash Brothers.
I don't doubt that.
So yeah, the charity, by the way, that New Nerds on the Block has chosen is a pretty cool one. It's called Gamers Outreach, and they provide, according to the thing, it says they provide equipment, technology, and software to help kids cope with treatment inside the hospital. So kind of a cool way to support kids in need with tech.
Yeah.
And yeah. And
I think I remember the name of the team now. I could be wrong, but I think it's Nerd Street Gamers.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Yeah, they're actually a esports company. I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we got some people that understand gaming. Does that mean that they're going to have strategies, maybe an edge on the competition? They're in the weeds with gaming all day, while the rest of us have to work on things that are just not the same as gaming. If only.
Speak for yourself. I game all day long. Especially in this day and age of, staying at home.
Have you seen that? One of my coworkers used to have a macro set up on his keyboard that would auto load a Excel spreadsheet, like a random one. So when his boss walked by, it was really great.
Very nice. Very nice. Q2 Hill trying to go out across the map and get a scout off here. Don't think we're going to get a game in there in 2 minutes this time around.
Yeah.
The Pro will get in. The Lings are chasing it down, but he'll get in and see that, Zip kind of has everything going on here.
Decided to let the Probe live as well.
Yeah. Well, there he goes. He's trying to chase him down. Once it went off into the dark, he went to go find him. So, yeah, somewhat notable, Q2 hasn't expanded yet, and he's floating quite a bit of minerals here.
That's right. He's now getting that pylon, maybe going for a one-base strategy. He also appears to be supply blocked. There are four stalkers queued up on one gateway. So
I think when we loaded in, it looked like Q2 was a bronze player.
Yep. So
yeah, he's doing good for the level he's at. I applaud him for.
It takes courage. Takes courage to play in the CEA.
Yeah.
And he's learning. So unfortunately for him, though, there are 6 Zerglings right out. Oh, make it 10 right outside his base.
Yeah, just dancing around. Stalker looks like it's on rally. Zip will get the surround with the Lings and kind of just hang out in the natural for a second.
Yep. just hanging out there. Zip definitely respecting the player. Not wanting to go too far into danger. It's treacherous territory up that ramp. And
Zip will get up the ramp and
he's just
pause for a second and run away.
Yeah. So how much did he take off? He took off 20 from that shield. So okay, gave him a good hit. It's good kind of smack in the face, just and let him get up and dust himself off and live to see another day.
Yeah, I think Zip got the information he needs. He's going to go back home. He's already getting a 4th base down now. So yeah, I think Zip's just going to hang back and try to back her up and give Q2 some space.
Yep. Q2 once again supply blocked, but does have some pylon coming on now, so that'll be good.
We've got second Nexus coming up.
But yeah, Zip is... What's Zip getting? Infestation Pit. Going straight up the tech tree.
What does that give him?
That gives him access to build a hive and all the things that go with hive. It also gives him swarm hosts.
Oh. Maybe we'll get to see some Swarm House play.
And infestors.
Or infestors.
Exactly. Some Lings just took a fight there. They were slaughtered by the front army.
Speaking of Swarm Hosts, it looks like we have 6 of them on the way.
All right. Well, he's going to get some siege going on with these swarm hosts. Zip, of course, has vision of pretty much the entire perimeter of Q2's base, and that one overlord just sitting right over in the corner of the main. Just out. Actually, he's not out of Q2's vision range, that overlord. Q2 can see the overlord, but has chosen the pacifist lifestyle.
It looks like we got the Swarm Host walking across the map here. Looking like they're going to try to get some damage. And he'll poke up right here down at the bottom of this main, in this little 3rd area here. And he's starting to drop them.
Here comes Swarmos. He's going right for the cybernetics core. He's going to cut the tech tree right as it was trying to get established.
They have 13 Swarm Hosts now just hanging out. These locusts doing some damage.
Does get... Wow, okay. Q2 looks like he's going to make a move out. Might be... Oh, there goes the next wave. Down goes his only...
Some unfortunate timing. Looked like he was expecting some front rush after that, but ended up moving away just a little too soon. These locusts get in and they get some damage done, but they're cleaned up yet again. So, looks like production taking a little hit. He gets another gateway up finally, and we'll work in another one. And these locusts end up taking care of these stalkers. And then they'll start in on this next gateway. So Q2 is now down to 1 gateway again, as Zip just keeps hitting them with the locusts.
Yep, it looks like he's taking out the probes, and yeah.
Weapons
Q2
upgrade will finish. 12 probes for Q2 gone now as well.
Yep. Yeah, this is looking a bit rough for Q2, but there's always hope.
What is this? What is this Overlord doing? Is transforming it.
He probably wants to shut down the production, so maybe we'll see a poop there on the. Oh no, he wants to lift swarm hosts into the base.
Load up some swarm hosts, and looks like he's gonna drop them right in the main. A little bit of poking with swarm hosts, getting a little bit of scout off. Will drop Lucas right in the probe line.
This getting right in there, and they are going to town on those probes.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is Starcraft, everybody.
And he will get all but 2 probes in the main. Total of 19 workers killed so far. Q2 is now down to 8 workers, but he does have 6 army out now. He's got some zealots out on the map. And the swarm host reinforcements are starting to show up here. The Lings have shown up. We got some Banelings moving across the map.
Yeah. So he is chipping away at these swarm hosts here. Takes one down. That is a hero zealot if I've ever seen one. Oh man! Then come the Banelings.
Ooh.
And it wasn't.
And they are taking out the buildings. This natural will go down here in just a minute.
This is looking a bit like a cinematic from the campaign right now. Look at that. They're just funneling
Somebody
through.
say Starship Troopers. And there goes. Zip will take the match. So game 2 and game 3 go for the Red Hatlings. We will start our festivities off today with Red Hat already 2 up.
That's right.
A lot riding on game 1.
That will be match point for Red Hat now, the next map. And so yeah, they're coming into the day in a commanding position against New Nerds on the Block. And yeah, that was, that's the part of the beauty of CEA is to see players of all skill levels, of all styles, and we want to remind people this is a charity league. So, it's good to just see players that are here to have fun and learn the game as they go.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of nice to see, Zip kind of step back a little bit, not really putting screws to Q2, give him a little space, not really just take him out. I don't know about others, but sometimes when someone mops the floor with me, it can make me a little tilted. So
exactly.
Give him some time to do it, play some actual Starcraft, not get too frustrated. Hopefully Q2 enjoyed the match. So.
Exactly, and yeah, so the next game, it is again, it's the first game in the scheduled series, but it is the third one we'll be showing you, but this will be the first one that is live, and that will be coming up in a few minutes as we get the lobby and the game set up. That will be a match between Nitrous from Red Hatlings versus Chelsea fan Protoss from New Nerds on the Block. So that is a TVP. Our first Terran enters the arena today. I was excited to see that.
Yep, Terran, my main race. I'm gonna love it whenever we see them fight. I unfortunately would not be casting this deck, but I'm gonna be taking a break. But it'll be interesting to see what will happen.
Absolutely.
All right, so 2 games in the books. We're just waiting now. Got a couple more minutes before before 3 o'clock, before the festivities officially kick off for the day. Looking up in our next matchup, though, what do you think we're going to see in this TVP?
The TVP, there's a whole lot of things in the meta. 2 base pushes are really popular out of Terran. To as soon as you get a couple of Raxes out, get some early tanks, and you just rush over to the Protoss's natural. Those are really popular. But so we might see something like that. or I don't know. I'm hoping for a good macro game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know that we know exactly what Chelsea fans' preferred style is. We haven't seen a lot of Nitrous this season, but we know he has a mix of styles that he likes to throw out at his opponents. We'll see what he has prepared. New Nerd sort of flipping the script on Red Hat for this match. I'd say for our first couple of matches, there may have been a little bit of a league discrepancy in favor of Red Hat. This time, we maybe have a little bit of a league advantage for New Nerds. So, Nitrous definitely seeing if he can slay the giant here. Chelsea fan, the captain for New Nerds. Opportunity to take it home with a big win.
That's right. Going to be an exciting match for sure. This game will be played on Eternal Empire, which is, I think, one of the most interesting of the new maps. Looks like a giant S, and there's just all kinds of terrain and turns at every part, so it can create some interesting battles, to say the least.
It is. A lot of the maps in the pool have sort of taken some interesting design choices. I think is probably the safest way to call it.
When the game's been out for 10 years, it's like you got to start doing some weird stuff.
Right. Keep it fresh. Get some new ideas, and if they're bad ideas, we'll swap it out on the next season. Keep things interesting. We have definitely seen some interesting games on these on some of these maps. It looks like we're getting a little bit of information now that we might have to swap the order of our games. Once again, we may be playing Game 4 before we play Game number 1. But we will keep you updated when the lobby is fixed. Until then, we'll continue to fill dead air.
That's right. We are very good at it.
This is a very important match this week. If you're not familiar with the CEA structure, we started with a Swiss league, moved into some round-robin pools. Now we're in crossplay. So in crossplay, Red Hat, who finished in 4th place in pool number 4, is matched up against New Nerds, who are the top team out of pool number 5. Based on the seedings going into the tournament, only 16 teams are going to make it. Red Hat currently clinging onto that 16 seed. New Nerds, with a win today, would strip them of that. So, playoff implications on the line here. Red Hat playing hungry. It's been, we'll call it a disappointing season. They've played real hard. We've seen a lot of really great games, but they sort of the luck has rolled against them. So this is their opportunity to play in and make a run. This is when the wins count.
Yeah, this is the time to definitely play your best. And we are at the end of the season, and so every week now can be the team's final week. So,
I would say it's win or go home, but everybody's already home, so.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's win and stay home?
Win and be able to stay home.
Win or be able to enjoy your Saturday afternoons.
That's right. Win or kind of mope the rest of the day and just be grumpy. We are getting this lobby started, almost ready to kick off this third broadcasted game of the day, and bring you some more Starcraft, because that is what you're here for after all. You might just be here to hear us talk, which I can understand why, but
I wouldn't. Well, to be fair, everybody's going a little crazy with the quarantine, so entertainment any way you can get it. I don't blame you.
Hey, that's right. So yeah, the players just getting set up on the map, and so it looks like we are gonna, by way of confirmation, that we are gonna be playing Game 4, scheduled Game 4. Now will be the third game broadcast, and that is between Big Joe Logs from New Nerds on the Block, and Kodad Arson from Red Hatlings. Be a PVZ on Golden Wall. Also, I said the weirdest map was Eternal Empire. That's probably not correct of the new maps. Golden Wall may take the cake as the strangest map.
It is a weird one, for sure. There's sort of a lot of opportunity for some cheesy play, a lot of different things you can do on this map. Certainly the Terrans have, both the Terran and Protoss, I should say, have found some cheesy ways to move around the map. We'll see Big Joe Logs, looks like he's a Zerk. Going to be going up against Dakota Darson from Red Hat, our Protoss. Maybe we'll get a straight-up game.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Both players are Diamond. So that's nice to have after the last one, maybe. Nothing to the players, but yeah, it's nice to see a game that's pretty fair.
Probably the closest of any of them for our at least established lineups.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, we are loading up the map. Bring on the Golden Wall. And you can see what is unique about this map is the Golden Wall. There are two ways you can mine out the minerals in the back of the base, which will allow you to get a sneak attack path into that section of the map, should you choose to. There's also some gold bases.
All right, so we're going to be kicking off in our third game of our stream today here, but our first game of the actual live stream.
That's right. Nice to be live.
That's right.
And
so we'll kick off our player introductions here. On the left side, we have it wearing the blue trunks from New Nerds, trying to rally, trying to start a new comeback. It is Big Joe Logs representing Zerg.
That's right. And in the bottom right corner, playing for the Red Hatlings, it is Kodad Arson.
We already get a little bit of action going at the natural of the Zerg. That probe trying to be annoying. But those two drones drive him away. That one drone looks like he's going to go ahead and get the expansion down.
Yep, he's just waiting for the minerals to come in. Gotta get them monies. Let it rain.
That's right.
Or make it rain, rather.
Looks like Coda is going to go ahead and start his wall at his natural. Getting that Cyber before Nexus. Just a little bit of a safer build here. Just want to make sure he's walled off. Stop any kind of fast Ling pressure maybe coming out of Big Joe Logs, but saw the drone at least set up for the hatch. It's going to send his probe back across the map just to check, just to make sure. Scouting so important in StarCraft. Knowing what your opponent is doing is a huge part of developing your own strategy and figuring out what units, what compositions you'd like to build.
Yeah, it's an interesting distinction about StarCraft, and one of the things I enjoy about it most, whereas in a lot of games, both players have access to all the information in the game, and those are called perfect information games like chess or many others. But in StarCraft, the map is shrouded in darkness, so you have to earn your information.
That's right.
And that's what this probe is doing. He earned it by almost dying.
That's right. Ling's speed's about 2/3 of the way done, so the Ling's not able to chase that probe down, but they're going to do their own scouting, going to move across and see that Coda Darson has a full wall. The Adept is warping in. Is one Zealot is just kind of hanging out outside. Got caught on the wrong side of the wall, it looks like, and that is actually a solid wall. Doesn't look like there is a gap at all. So Coda playing very safe here, just making sure that he's not taking any damage from run-bys. He is going to have to knock out one of those gateways later on if he wants to get his army out, though.
Yeah, and the response out of the Nerd Street Gamers player is to take the gold base in the third. So maybe decided his initial plan probably not going to succeed with that full wall, and so why not get that high income gold minerals and start cranking out some units.
That's right. It is an interesting, one of the interesting things here on Golden Wall is, those minerals, knocking them down is going to open up sort of that lower half of the map. Is going to enable the, a lot of motion, a lot of movement. Isn't deciding not to mine the back minerals there, but you see, it's kind of an unusual structure for a map. Normally we'd see destructible debris, something along these lines, but in this case, the wall can only be brought down by workers, but we're about to have an engagement here as the Lings run into a ball of Adepts, and the Lings, a little indecisive to run right on by, and those Adepts who do so much damage to light units chew them up.
That's right, and this is going to be a dangerous force for him to deal with, for the Zerg player to deal with. Does not have a lot of units that are favorable, so going to go ahead and run his drones out of there that were there, and Kodad looks like he's going to take out this hatch, decide it's in a dangerous spot. It does want to keep an eye on these Lings.
That's right, and it's a little bit of an early move out from Kodad. The Resonator Enclave's not quite done. When it does finish, those Adepts are going to do so much damage to those Lings, but Big Joe Logs getting 7 roaches in production right now. It's going to very easily clean up the Adepts and losing his investment on this third here.
That's right. And does bring the Lings in. Looks like he wants to time it with the Broodlings. That hatch and get some nice damage in, but is going to have to fall back because does not have the force he needs to fight that. And not really defending anything anymore. So going to go ahead and pull back, and both players go home and reestablish their bases.
That's right. And with that shade in, he would have seen the double Evo out of Big Joe Logs. Probably upgrade heavy, but Coda doesn't look like he's done with the aggression yet. Does get that Warp Prism moving out. It's going to allow him to be very mobile with this army, warping in the back, harassment, just general frontline support. And Big Joe not giving up on the gold, though, trying to reestablish that third. Really wants to be one base ahead in the meta. Zerg really needs that extra base in order to keep up with their production, with their economy, all those sorts of things.
One might say he has gold fever. And so, yeah, these armies are posturing here right on the sides. I'm not sure they know each other here, but Kodad Arson does have this 4 Adepts here in the Warp Prism ready to do some harass on the base, especially like pulling this army away.
Yeah, it looks like he intends to make this dual-pronged, but all those roaches engaging those Adepts has to focus over there. Is going to get a lot of damage in on the main, as those roaches now have to run all the way back. Just so many Adepts on the field, going to struggle to deal with a lot of these roaches, but is going to move around, is going to shade down in the natural, potentially get a whole lot of pickoffs as they all zoom over. Focusing on the queens instead of the drones. Macarena is hard out, just taking out all of Big Joe's economy. 10, 12, so many workers being killed now. Wow. 20 workers down. Big Joe, he's restarting.
Yeah, he is on he's on 12 workers right now. So, does have the larger army by a wide margin. So, he's probably going to want to walk across the map when he cleans up these Adepts, because does not want to play a straight-out game now with the economy he has. He literally has 0 workers now, by the way. Yeah. Not a single worker.
Not a single worker. Does have some money, so he can build workers, but it's up to... There's some action going on with gold. It's just a couple more Adepts just being as annoying as they possibly can. And at this point, Coda just wants to delay that push as long as possible. The more time he has to prepare, but a couple of DTs on the board... He knows that Big Joe doesn't have any detection. These DTs are going to be devastating to this roach push.
That's right. He's going to have to just ignore them completely and try to kill these stalkers and get into the main base, because that is all he can do.
Already putting in so much work, though. A lot of those roaches are at half health or even lower. That pylon's going to go down. Depower the cyber core, depower one of the gates. Other gate appears to still be up by another pylon, but trying desperately to take out these roaches. The roaches are focusing the DT shrine, but it's not going to be enough. And
that is the GG.
That's the GG. With that, Red Hat takes the series.
That's right. Wow, a clean sweep out of the Red Hatlings today. Yeah, that was some interesting games. Definitely the most even game of the day, but very nicely played by Kodat Arson. Just made the right moves. The adept timing was really the clincher for this game. Lured the whole army of Big Joe logs out far away from the main base, and then just nicely teleported around with the adepts and did so much economic damage there was no return.
Yeah,
so.
you could tell that was a very well executed build from Kodad. The full wall, making sure he doesn't die, having his tech timings come in at the right time, and just able to do so much damage, just avoiding that roach ball. Not much the Zerg could really do other than hunker down and try to protect one of his bases. Having to bounce around, especially with that goofy position out on the map at that third. It's just so far from his natural, so far for those roaches to walk. Kodad was all over the place, all in on 2 base, and managed to pull it out.
That's right. And so Red Hat's season stays alive. And yeah, the Hatlings go on. So we know their next opponent will be Amazon Pain Forest, and that is one of the top teams in the league. Is it not? Am I correct?
It actually won't be Amazon Pain Forest. It's actually going to be Alexa 12 Pool. But I could understand if you were confused. It's the same company.
But yeah, they're going to be playing a top team, and so definitely have their work cut out for them. But today they just focus on today and they go home the victors. But any other comments, Patch?
We're going to actually be going into game number 1 after this one. So it looks like they're going to go ahead and set up that last game.
Technically, it has to be played since we have to have a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, okay. But it's not going to count, correct?
Well, it will
this
count.
This one will count because it's so this upcoming match will actually be game 1. We just got done with game 4. Game 2 and 3 were last night, the ones we casted before the live match. So
correct.
The first match of the day will be game 1.
Yeah, this will count, but the result doesn't change.
Yes, it'll be
right. Okay.
It'll be either 4-0 or 3-1.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately for new nerds, though, with the loss today, that will end their season. So, map wins, those sorts of things, tiebreakers, they don't really come into account. So this one's just for the funsies, and we don't want to short anybody. A lot of these players spend a lot of time prepping for these games. We're here for fun anyway. This is a charity event, and let's see more Starcraft. More Starcraft is always better Starcraft, as we say around here.
That is right. That is right. And we get more of it.
That's right. It will be a few minutes, though. It looks like the Chelsea fan is maybe a little slow logging on, but we'll continue to fill the air until such time as we have more Starcraft to show you.
So is this go ahead. Is this a Chelsea Clinton fan? Are we talking Chelsea New York? What do we think here? What's our guess?
Possibly the soccer team.
Okay, that would make a bit more sense, But hey, all possibilities on the table.
Those were some unusual first guesses. I'll have to say, but
maybe he knows some. Maybe the person knows someone by the name of Chelsea, and they're a big fan.
Maybe it's his wife. Maybe he's just a big fan and just wants to support her in all facets of his life, even in video games. It's a dedicated man right there.
Hey.
Or maybe Chelsea's his dog. Or cat.
Or imaginary
cat.
friend.
You know? Chelsea could be anything is, I guess, the point.
Yep. It's really a way of thinking, you might say, and it's a way of thinking that's done him well.
In some ways, we're all Chelsea. And this is his way of expressing, how much he just really is a fan of life in general. It's sort of dark days with pandemic and all. You really need more positivity. And, hey, Chelsea fan, really bringing it home.
Right. It is a time for positivity.
Alright, so this next matchup, as we get it started, is a Chelsea fan versus
Nitrous.
Yeah.
So TVP. We started going into it a little bit earlier. Sort of an interesting meta between Terran and Protoss right now. Would you say it's evolving?
I would say it's evolving. Probes OP and all that, but
yeah, we're seeing a lot of changes in the meta right now, especially with just sort of the shift in a lot of Protosses are almost taking a different approach to their games. I guess when you get shut out of the winner circle at the pro level for so long, you have to really do something a little bit different.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
All right. Well, still just waiting on the lobby to be set up here. Be just a few more minutes as we wait for the new nerds to be settled in. Oh, and we have a Chelsea fan sighting who's just logged in. And so we'll be getting that next lobby set up very shortly. We'll have our fourth game of Starcraft for you on this fine afternoon during Crossplay Week 8 of the CEA Corporate Esports Association Spring 2020 Tournament.
Now you say it's a fine afternoon. I'm going to say it's an overcast afternoon.
Well, we're all inside. We're all enjoying the air conditioning or heat, depending on where you might be in the country and what the temperature is outside. But any afternoon with StarCraft is a fine afternoon.
Yes. I will agree there. PvP, Eternal Empire, give me a little PTSD.
I can imagine why, but it's an epic game. There's not a few. There's only a few people who can really make that sort of claim to fame, to be attached to something that's going to be remembered forever, really. Because we're never going to let you forget it.
I mean, when you died in nothing but probes and maybe a couple zealots, life just kind of gets memorable.
He's a Chelsea's fan. I am now a Probes fan.
I would like to see Blizzard maybe nerf probes in an upcoming patch. Maybe reduce that attack damage. We already know that they're not, they're no longer getting upgrade scaling. That attack damage doesn't scale with the attack upgrades. It never did. But you know, anything to kind of make Patch feel better. He's a very important part of our casting team, and of course, we really appreciate him coming to hang out with us on a weekly basis. Give us some of that insight into the Red Hat, you know, sort of internals.
Well, not all the internals, but yes.
Our man on the inside.
The internals I can talk about publicly because we, you know, are an open source company and all that.
Well, open source means everything's transparent, right?
There's a difference between open and public. But yes, most everything we do is out in the open.
So with that, clearly the conversation is getting too nerdy because the countdown started. We're going now into our game number 1, but our 4th game of the stream today between Nitrous and Chelsea Fan on Eternal Empire.
All right. So, yeah, Diamond versus Masters here again. Getting real close to being you know, PTSD for me. Not gonna lie.
Right. So let's go ahead.
Same
and
positions it looks like too.
Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce our players. Starting in the upper right, we have our blue Protoss from New Nerds, trying to, you know, take a game for sanity's sake. It's Chelsea Fan.
Yep, and down here in the bottom left, the other Terran on the Red Hatlings team, my boy Nitrous. Looks like Nitrous is already going with a standard fracs before gas. And the probe is already out, ready to scout.
It's an interesting placement on the for the gateway there. You know, maybe hoping to get some vision. You know, protecting against Reaper play. Reapers can be pretty devastating on this map. They're able to hop up and down the wall right there. So just having the gateway there as opposed to his ramp obviously leaves him a little bit more vulnerable. If Nitrous did have some units, he could walk straight up that ramp, but does see what Nitrous is doing, gets the probe in, is going to get the full scout off. Just able to circle around, sees one gas, sees a full saturated line.
And we'll leave his base. And we'll see that Nitrous is expanding.
That's right, so no quick cheesy builds, no 2, 3, 4 gates. It's going to know
hangs out
that,
there for a minute. Then walks away.
It gives him that confidence to go ahead and drop his own Nexus. So both players looking like they want to move into the next stage of the game. Won't be seeing any cheese out of this one. Just going to be very straightforward. That one probe hiding in the corner there is going to come back in for another looky-loo. It's going to see the bunker going down at the front. Looks like Nitrous just playing very defensively here, and the depot's down. The probe gets in. It's going to see, once again, everything going on in the back of the base. But, you know, it's hard to tell. Looks like, actually, looking at the top of the map, Nitrous is not playing defensively. He's actually dropping a couple extra barracks at the top of the map. Looks like he wants to go for it onto base. Just hit really early, really hard with this timing, and surprise Chelsea Fan.
Yeah, that's an interesting placement there. I haven't really done this myself, the proxying the 2 axis late in the game and all that. So it'll give him a good advantage. It'll give him, you know, some shorter reinforcement when he ends up doing a strike. And
I'm not sure it's that much shorter. It's hard to say. I do think it's interesting. I wonder if Nitrous is actually playing mind games with Chelsea Fan. Like, did he leave the front door open to allow Chelsea Fan to get in and scout?
I mean, it just may be.
If he's trying to fool him, I mean, this would be if Chelsea Fan maybe gets some false confidence and, you know, does have those 2 shield batteries up front, doesn't have much of a wall, but if the bio starts coming in real hard and fast, it could be a problem. He does have the Robo Bay down. It's getting to be about a third of the way done. So we'll be able to get Colossi, Disruptor, the sort of high-tech Robo units. But for now, only has a couple of units. Does have the Immortal coming out, as well as the Stalker. But lots more Marines being produced now. Double reactor barracks at the top. Has +1 going out of his Engi Bay. This looks like a pretty sharp timing coming out of Nitrous. We'll see if he's going to be able to hit before any of those Colossi hit the field.
Yeah, this is looking very familiar. Similar to what I had planned out when I played my match versus the Masters Protoss, where trying to get that 1-1 and the stem and the combat shield, and try to really have that one ability to soak up that much damage and two, put out that much damage.
That's right.
To really put a dent in the Protoss army early on.
Right. It's not much of an army here. Nitrous's army supply rapidly climbing, 29 supply to 21 for our Protoss as he warps in those 2 additional Stalkers. Chelsea fan opting not to build anything at the moment. You see on the right there, the timing's kicking in. Combat shields and infantry weapons level 1 about to finish as the bio ball is coming in. Has SCVs queued up to build bunkers. This is it, folks. This is the heavy hit.
He runs in. Stems in. He's doing some good damage on these. He takes out the shield batteries. He starts really doing some damage here on the Stalkers. And the bunkers will start building behind it. He takes out the one pylon. Chelsea Van had to pull the probes just to get some damage going. It looks like he is going to hold this. Not enough reinforcements. The bunkers have stopped being built. And there's a disruptor out on the field now as well.
All right, so he's able to clean that up. Looks like a couple more Marines rallied down accidentally. Didn't get the cancel on those bunkers, unfortunately. But Chelsea fan barely able to hold. That was a scary push from the Terran.
Very scary indeed.
But Defender's advantage just gives him just enough to hit. It would have been interesting to see if he could have gotten those 2 bunkers down, if that could have changed the course of that battle, because after that first stim in, just lost a lot of life on all those units, and I'm not sure if there was a second stim in there or if he was just taking a lot of sustained damage. But the Observer makes its way up to the barracks now and sees still pumping units out. He's going to want to clean that up before Nitrous can come in for a second round. But Nitrous has a little bit of a longer game in the works as he gets his third command center down now.
Yeah, but the only thing I'd say I would like to have seen different in that fight earlier is maybe prioritize more of that of the Protoss army rather than anything else that would have been able to.
Well, he had made the choice to focus down the shield batteries.
He did the shield
that
batteries,
allows him to, killing those shield batteries allows him to do extra damage essentially because he's not having to burn through all of that energy. Just has to burn through the life of the shield battery. But you do see that Colossi who just clipped the bottom of the screen there, as well as the thermal lance being researched. This very bio-heavy composition from Nitrous is really going to struggle from this very splash-heavy Protoss composition. But we'll see. The Dark Shrine is going down. Chelsea fan opting for a little bit of, cheesy play on his own. As they say, win behind Dark Shrine. Win ahead Dark Shrine. If you play Protoss, just Dark Shrine.
Yeah. I know I've died way too many times to just not remembering that Dark Templars exist, and they find their way into my base no matter what. And next thing I know, I come back, and all my minerals harvesting's gone, all my SCVs are dead. So
Nitro's very light on gas, as you actually see in his natural there. Didn't take gas as his natural, only has 2 workers mining gas total. So just getting so many minerals, able to build so many Marines, and the important part, actually, it's interesting here, looking at the supplies, Nitrous 15 workers up on Chelsea Fan, another 20 army supply up. It's not a very efficient army. It's going to really struggle to deal with the what Chelsea Fan has, but that first DT's getting in the Merle lines. They were able to clean up the Zealot, but isn't able to...
A battle's about to happen up at the corner of the map there.
And that's
like a Disruptor Ball did quite a bit of damage on Nitrus's army. And there goes the engagement. There's a siege tank. There's a DT here helping clean up this army.
Yes, it's just
Nitrus will push him back in, and these DTs do their job.
That's right. And they're just killing so many workers. Nitrus actually, when the boys got pulled in his first attack, was able to kill a lot of workers early on, but this time, Chelsea Fan able to even the score, just continuing to send these DTs, continuing to kill more and more workers. 28, 29 workers now dead for Nitrus. All of that advantage evaporated as our supplies have flipped. Chelsea Fan now moving up, is able to take out the proxy, and with that, that's a GG.
It was a valiant attempt. He did a really good job there. It looks like there were a couple engagements where it really could have gone either way.
That first push was so scary.
Yeah. So scary. Very close push.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what he could have done maybe to improve that. I think that Chelsea Fan held that off almost perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, that really just goes down to just Chelsea Fan being a master level player. You could see he got rid of the SCVs even though the army was there, so he stopped the barracks. He was able to keep that army alive, pulled the probes to suck up some damage. It was a close one.
Yeah.
Very close.
But with that, that's actually going to do it for us today, as Red Hat takes the series 3-1. As we played our games a little out of order, we apologize a little bit for the sort of weird organization of today's match, but we can absolutely tell you now, we'll be back next week for our playoffs. Week number 1, as Red Hat squeaks in with the 16 seed. We'll see if they have what it takes to take down Alexa 12 Pool. I'm Eagle Searcher. I'm joined by Big Toe, Patch, Damn Glam. Any last words, guys, for the stream before we sign off?
Thanks for tuning in. It was a fun day. I'm glad to see us take a game. It's been a little rough road, but I'm happy for today's results myself.
That's right. Yeah, some nice games today. And yeah, once again, a shout out to our observer, Damn Glam. And thank you for all the work you're doing to make this possible. And yeah, I'm excited for next week. Playoff action.
That's right. So until then, this is SCTuesdays signing off. We will see you next Saturday. GG.
GG.